Hello everyone, Wiz here with another tutorial. This is for the F-35B, I think, whichever one has the VTOL, I'm not too sure. But I know it's been a while since I've last uploaded. Let's not look at that. But I really hope you guys like this tutorial. I spent a lot of time on it. And there are some bugs that you may encounter along the way, but those can be easily fixed. Anyways, let's get on with the tutorial. So, for the first step of this F-35 Lightning, what you want to do is you want to go to Blocks, scroll down to Wedges, and get a pyramid wedge. Place it like 4 blocks up, should be good. Maybe one more, 5. And then you want to get yourself a compress block, and you can just leave it as it is. I like to put just a button that you won't press. For me, a button that I don't press is insert, just, a button that you know you will not press. And then what you want to do here is you want to put another one right here, right behind it, just like so. Make sure they have the same controls. And then what you want to do is you want to go to Blocks and get a half wedge down 1x3. And you want to place it just like this. Make sure there's a block gap right here in between the pyramid wedge and the half down wedge. Now do that on both sides. And now what you want to do is you want to get a quarter wedge and place it right here. And if you need to get a better angle of it, you can build a couple blocks up, or if you had jetpack, you can just use your jetpack. And then what you're going to do is you are going to go to the light bulb tab and get your main pilot seat. And since I already used mine over there, you're just going to place it right here, just like so. And then what you want to do is you want to go to Blocks, get a helium block, and place it just right there, just like so. And then scroll up a little bit to get a quarter triangle wedge in half blocks. Make sure it is a 1x2 and place it just like so, right there. Then do that on both sides. Alright, now what you're going to do is you're going to go to Gear, and you are going to go to PvP weapons and get a gun. Place it just like so, right here. Make sure it's right underneath the compression block. That's right there. And then the controls can just be mouse button 1 or any button of your choice. Alright, now you are going to scroll down to landing gear, and you are going to get a tiny landing gear, just like so, and place it right under the helium block. And then what you want to do is go to motors and get a motor, then configure it to make sure it's a lock. Now usually you don't have to do this, but I just like to make sure everything is turned off just to double check. And you want to place it right here, and then place it right here behind the helium block, and make sure controls are just like mine. Well, really just powered off and lock on. And then you're going to go to get a compress block and place it right here. Now you don't really have to do anything to this, just put like a button that you won't press. And now what you want to do is you want to get another motor and basically just do the same thing as this motor down here. You can copy controls and then just paste them into here. Do that right there. And also put another motor right beside it, right there. Make sure they have the same controls. And also make sure the green arrow is facing forward and the peg is up. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to go to blocks, scroll down to wedge, and get a wedge. And then just place one wedge there, another one there, and one right there. So a row of 3. And then you want to do the same on this side. Just like that. And now what you want to do is you want to scroll up to blocks and get a block and just place one right there. Then you want to scroll down all the way to wedges and get a full half wedge and place it just right there. And then scroll up to half blocks and get a half triangle wedge. Place it right there, right next to the block and the wedge. And then do that on this side also. And it should look like this so far. And if you want to, you can start painting just like that. And now, I almost forgot a step. You just want to get another motor and place it right in this line of 3. And make sure it has the same configuration as the other 2. Now, you are going to get a compressed block and place it right here, right on top of the middle motor. Make sure it's on top of the middle motor. And then just do that. And now, you want to get a gyro and place it right here. And turn and click on the green, which would turn it off. And then configure the gyro to toggle T and set rotation Y. And then strength 3000. Okay. Now you want to go to the engines and get a small propeller engine. And you want to configure it to increase power E and decrease power Q. And then place it just like so on top of the other 2 motors. Just like that. And now you want to go to the light bulb and get a trap door. And then open and close T, lock, a button that you won't press, and then you can turn lock on. And then place the motor just like this. Make sure the black dot is facing forward. And then the second trap door just like this with the black dot facing back. So you want it to look like this. And now what you want to do is you want to go to blocks, scroll down to wedges, and get a 1x3 wedge. And you want to place it right here, just like that, so that way it's behind the motor. Then you want to scroll down more and get a right corner wedge, get a 1x3 right corner wedge, place it right there. So that way it's in between the normal wedge and the 1x3 wedge. And then you want to get a left corner wedge and get a 1x3 left corner wedge. Just like that. So it should look a lot like this. Now what you want to do is you want to scroll up to half blocks and get a half block. Place it just like there and right there. And then you want to go to gear and get a compress block. Set the configuration. And then place it right here. Make sure it's connecting to the half block just like this. And do that on the other side as well. Make sure the green arrow is facing forward. And then, what you want to do, you want to go to blocks and get a half block. And place a half block on each side. And then you want to go to half wedge up and place it like this. So make sure like the angled part is facing the half block right here. Just like that. And then do that on this side as well. And now you want to go to gear and get another compress block, or wait. And yeah, you want to get another compress block and place it right there. Configurations. Do that on the same side, or on the other side. So it should be just looking just like this, just like this. And then you want to go to blocks and scroll down to plates and get a plate. And just place it along here like that. Make sure it's connecting to the compress block. Then place two more right here and right here. And you also want to get a half plate and look under. Then place a line of 6 half plates under here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do all of this on the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I suggest you start painting some of it a little bit. So you want to get black, and then just paint the canopy, and also paint what will be the engine inner parts, or whatever they're called. Once you have that done, you want to go to blocks and get a block. Place it right here. And you want to place another one right behind it. And then under this, you want to go to gear, go to PvP weapons, and get a rocket. And you can configure it to however you want to. I suggest doing mouse button 1, which is your left click button. And then close tracking can be on, legacy can be on, however you want it, really. And now, you want to go back to blocks, scroll down to plates, and make sure the plate is not in this level. You do not want it to be right there. You want it to be right here. You want it to be right here. Not right here, but right here. Right behind the missile. Then you want to place a line of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure it looks like that. And then you can just go to thrusters or whatever and get a super rocket engine. You do not have to configure it. And then just place it right there. And now go back to blocks and get a half plate and place it right here, right next to this plate. And then do that on this side as well. And now what you want to do is you want to scroll down to wedges and get a full half wedge. And then place it right here, making sure the actual wedge part, or the actual angled part, is facing towards the compression block. Then do that on the other side as well. Just like this. And now you want to scroll up to half blocks and get a quarter wedge and place it right next to the full half wedge. Just like this. So it should look like this. just like that. And then do that on both sides. And now go to gear and get a motor, and then configure it to a motor lock, just like we've done before, and place it right here. Make sure it's behind the full half wedge and the peg is facing out. Do that on this side as well. And then you want to scroll to compression and get a compress block and place it right here. You can configure it and do that on this side as well. And now what you want to do is we're going to start working on the wings. So we're going to go to wing panels and everything, get a delta wing, and get a delta wing 1x1 and place it right here. And then what you want to do is you want to get a delta wing 1x2 and place 2 of those just like this. So it should look something like this with a 1x1 and then a 1x2 and a 1x2. And then what you want to do is you want to go to wing panels and place a wing panel 1x2 right there, just like that. And you also want to go to control surfaces, get a control surface 1x1, place it right there, control surface 1x2, 1x1, and place those side by side. And then control surface 1x2, 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 1x2. So that way you fill in this area. And now do the same for the other side. Once you have both sides finished, you want to go to blocks and place 3 blocks right here. 1, 2, 3. Make sure they're right behind the motor, and do that on the other side as well. And then you want to go to thrusters, and you want to get a super rocket engine, and you do not have to configure it. And then you want to place it right behind the triangle wedge, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have made a mistake on accident, but it is an easy one we can fix. All we have to do is just delete this block right here, and delete this super rocket engine, and then just place it again right here. There we go, mistake fixed. Anyways, now what you want to do is you want to go to blocks, scroll down to plates, and get a plate. Then place 2 plates on top of the super rocket engine thruster, just like that, right there. Make sure it's on the last one in each row, then do that on both sides. Now you want to go to engines and get another super rocket engine and only place it on the right side. Make sure it's only on the right side, because this will be our main thruster. Well, for the looks. Now you're going to go back to blocks, scroll down to, scroll up to half blocks and get a half wedge down and place it just like seen. So you want to place it 1, 2 right there and leave this spot blank. So just 2 right there and blank. And then do that on this side as well. And now what you want to do is you want to go to gear and get an angle lock and place it right here. and make sure the green arrow is facing forward. Do that on both sides. And then configure it to compress, insert, and then angle. The angle for this one is going to be 5 degrees. And then for this one, you're going to make this one -5. Just like so. Alright, now you are going to go to wing panels and get a wing panel 1 by 1 and place it on the angle lock, just like so. Place that on both. And then get a delta wing 1 by 1 and place it just like this, twice. Make sure it's in front of the wing panel and on top of it. Do that on the other side as well. And then get a delta wing 1 by 2 and place it behind the delta wing 1 by 1 and the wing panel 1 by 1. Now go to gear, scroll down to other, and get a tiny landing gear. Not a small landing gear, a tiny landing gear. Then make sure the green arrow is facing backwards, and place it under the last block just like that. And do that on the other side. Just like that. And then what you want to do is you want to scroll up to motors and get a motor and place it like this. Make sure the peg is facing towards this engine right here. Then with the motor, you're going to turn everything off. Not lock on, nothing on. You just want to make sure everything is off. So that way it can balance out the weight evenly. Now you want to go to wing panels and get a delta wing 1 by 2 and place it right behind the control surface, just like this. And then get a wing panel 1 by 2 and place it just like that. Do that on the other side. Boom, there you go. Make sure it's just like that. And then you want to get a motor 2 and okay. It appears that I've made another small mistake that we can easily fix. All we have to do is just delete the wings. It's nothing too major. And then move the wings 1 block further. So you're going to get control surface 1 by 1 and place it right next to the compression block. Get a delta wing 1 by 1 and place it above there. And then a delta wing 1 by 2 and do how we did it before. So just like this, should look like this. And get a wing panel 1 by 2 and place it right there, so that way it's facing downwards or backwards. Then get more control surfaces, place control surface 1 by 1 right there, control surface 1 by 2, 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 and control surface 1 by 2. And then just do the same on the other side. Okay, there we go. Now it should look like this. And then you want to go to delta wings, get a delta wing 1 by 2, and place it right below the wings. And then get a wing panel 1 by 2, place it just like this. And then do the same on the other side. Now it should look like this. And now you want to go to gear and get a motor 2. Then place it just like this, so that way the peg is facing the wing panels, and then the little yellow peg is facing forward. Then do that on the other side as well. And now, what you're going to do is you're going to copy these. So, backward and forward is going to be a button that you won't press. Speed 5, max torque 1000, max angle 30, tolerance 3, servo off, toggle off, but inverted on. And then for the other side, it's also going to be backward insert, forward insert, or, well, a button that you won't press. Speed 5, max torque 1000, max angle 30, tolerance 3, servo off, toggle off, and inverted on. Now what you want to do is get another motor 2 and place it just like this, to where the peg is touching the super rocket thruster, just like that. And then the yellow smaller peg is facing up. Then the controls for this is going to be backward F, forward insert, speed 1, max torque 1000, max angle 90, tolerance 3, servo on, toggle on, and inverted off. And now, once you've done that, is you want to go to compress block, and you want to configure it to insert distance 0, transparency on, and can collide off. And now, once you've done that, you want to place it above this motor 2, just like that. And then you want to make a stack of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then do that on the other side as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you want to place a compression block right there. Make sure the smaller part is facing this direction, and then do that for the other side as well. And make sure the green arrow is also facing forward. Then you want to configure both of them to negative 0.5. So it should be that. Or what you could do is you could just put distance all the way down. And now what you want to do is you want to go back to the compress block, configure it to how it was before, distance 0, press insert, all of that. And then you want to place one right there above the stabilizer or whatever it's called. Then place another one on the other one. And then place one behind each other, just like that. Make sure it's connecting to here. And that should be it. Now, if you want to test it, you can. So let's test it. Okay, it appears to be interesting. Is there anything that's not working? I can't tell. Alright. So, whoops. Alright. So what you want to do is you want to change this from a super rocket thruster to a normal rocket engine. There you go. Alright. Now, if it's like this, where you're leaning to the side, all you want to do is click T, which is for the gyro. And then you want to click T again. And then click F. Okay. Then hold E. Okay, I know what's not working. So we have to configure this back rocket engine to increase power E and decrease power Q. Just like that. And now, if you test it again, it should work. Make sure T is on, or the gyro is activated. Okay, and it appears to be working. Alright, so now I'm just going to tell you the controls if you need to. So, to put the back rocket engine down, and also to put these trapdoors up, you're going to click F. So F is for that. And then to turn the back rocket thruster on, and also these propeller blades on, you're going to hold E. And then to turn them off, you're just going to press Q. Or you're going to hold Q. And then to go forward is W. And then to stop going forward, S. And also, make sure whenever you're in VTOL mode, you press T, so that activates the gyro. I have T off right now, but I'm going to press T again, and now I can be in VTOL mode. Something seems to be wrong with the back rocket engine. Now it's working. It might not completely work sometimes, but that should be good. And then you just press to fire the rocket and also your gun. Your mouse controls the wing panels. So I'm moving my mouse up and down, just like that. If you press G, the gear will turn on and off. And if you want to color it, or paint it, you're going to select the gray on the color tab. And then you can paint it all gray, but because I have the drag selector, I can just do this. Hold on. And then for specific paints, you can put this on white, black, then make sure the wheels are black, and also the missile. And then you want to make sure this back thruster is black also. And the windshield, black. The chair can be black. And for these back stabilizers, or whatever they're called, on the color tab, you're going to get the dark blue. You're going to paint these three, just like that. Then you're going to get the yellow and paint the back one. And now save it. And there you go. That's your F-35 done. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And whiz out.